The thing about the Night Gallery series, especially Season 1 and Season 2, had a certain mix that made each segment or episode quite interesting. It had character actors, had good plot, had sci-fi elements. It had recognizable stars, and dark comedy kind of tied in a little bit of some of the episodes. In this case, this episode covers all the bases. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a direct connection between Twilight Zone and Night Gallery through the great Burgess Meredith in this segment called The Little Black Bag. Now, the teleplay was by Rod Serling with story by C.M. Kornbluth. And the basic plot is a medical bag from the future is found in an alleyway trash can by a down-on-his-luck former doctor, changing his life forever, Burgess Meredith. Now, Meredith really stands out in here. A lot of people thought he might get an Emmy nomination for Best Guest Actor or, whatever category that he was in at the time. Now, directed by the great Geno Schwartz, it includes Meredith as Dr. William Fall, the comedic character actor Chill Wills as his colleague Hepplewhite, George Firth as Gillens, E.J. Andre as Charlie Peterson, Ardra Mallet as Mr. Enos, Eunice Suarez as the mother, Marion Vall as the sick girl, and Johnny Silver as the pawnbroker. Now, the plot goes like this. A bag with futuristic medical supplies is mistakenly sent back in time for the future. The first scene takes place in this future, which we later learn is 2098, in a sort of time travel room where a worker, Gillings, played by George Firth, discovers this error and lets his supervisor know the bag cannot be returned. Now, in 1971, deep in the past of the main scene, two hobos find a little black bag in a dumpster while they're searching for something they can pawn for liquor. Now, Fall finds it. He's a former MD, and his time as a practicing physician, 20 years in the past, is long gone as he now spends his days in the streets and alleys with his pal Hepplewhite, played by Chill Wills, trying to score booze before heading off to a men's shelter at night. Now, Fall is fascinated by what he sees inside the bag and realizes it contains some great medical advances since his last practice, but can't imagine how the field could have leaped so far ahead in the years since he's been out of the game. So the bag includes various details on how to do surgeries or treatment. Now, Hepplewhite again is a strong advocate for taking the bag to a pawn shop and getting a few bucks for it immediately, and Fall agrees. At the pawn shop, they are approached by a highly distressed woman who sees them with the bag and asks for their help as their daughter is very ill. The pawn shop owner is willing to pay $8 for the bag, but Fall declines, saying with the kind of pride he has not likely honestly felt in years, "I have need of my instruments. I have a patient who requires my services." And of course, it's presented in Burgess's very, fatherly style. Now, the men follow the woman to their tenanted apartment where they find her daughter has strep throat. Fall follows instructions in the bag, and there is a matching card and needle labeled lymphatic infections. He gives her a shot, and within seconds she has recovered completely. Meredith excels in the scene, expressing the wonder he feels at these tools and realizing this can serve as his re-entry in the medical profession. Hepplewhite still just wants to pawn the bag for the $8, but the mother says, "God bless you, doctor," which gratifies Fall immensely. Now, Fall again is amazed how medicine could advance as far in just 20 years. Then he notices the bag has a date on it, 2098. He eventually goes to a flop house where a friend has terminal cancer and is able to use a scalpel to remove his tumors without blood or pain and without even knowing how to do it. The scalpel guides his hand. A man there with arthritis then asks Fall to cure him, and of course he does, so that's 3 patients. Now, in the room that night, Hepplewhite is becoming impatient and angry. He wants to make money off this bag, and now he can see there may be much, much more than $8 to be made. Fall practices a speech he plans to give to the medical community, introducing the bag and its supplies and instruments. He'll start with this attention getter. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I begin this demonstration, I'd like to pose you an academic question. If I were to take the scalpel, were to embed it in my throat, and then cut to a depth of perhaps 3 centimeters, what would your professional estimation be of my chance of surviving? He realizes with delight there'll be a gasp. Before he's able to make that speech and discover all the far-reaching implications for improving global human health, Hepplewhite's turn to the sinister will end that dream. Chill Wills, again, was a very large man and often played the gentle giant in many of his movies and TV shows, but his size and grizzled looks made it completely believable for him to play a heavy. And Chill is quite chilling in the scene, no pun intended, as he takes a blade from the bag and murders Fall. The next scene is that presentation before the medical community made by Hepplewhite, but at the moment he's about to plunge the scalpel in his throat when he says, "Dead gentlemen, watch this." We cut to the 2098 time travel room where Gillings says a murder has been committed by one of the instruments. He is ordered to deactivate the bag, which he does immediately. Back in 1971, shaken doctors pondered why he would have chosen to commit suicide in such a manner. One is not sure if it was suicide, asking, "Did you catch the look on his face just before he dropped?" I've never seen anyone look quite so surprised. Now this facial situation is off camera, but you can expect that I think the Chill Wills character was very, very shocked to know that this intentional scam worked against him. The bag, with its contents smoldering, is deemed junk and is tossed in the garbage chute. All the way around, the sterling written episode works beautifully as it would have on Twilight Zone. According to David Jules' WordPress that we're quoting from, it included good pacing, excellent performances by Meredith Wills, who does a lot simply with an open-mouthed stare, and fine direction for the first time for the man who would go on to direct the most Night Gallery episodes with 22, Geno Schwartz. Now, the reason why the episode is believable because Burgess Meredith and Chill Wills are known factors. They're known character actors, known to work. Now, in the modern era, if you're dealing with some of what they call the Fanny Silent or Magnum P.I. character actors, could have worked. But Burgess Meredith, being a known factor, he did several Twilight Zones, including one of the Hour episodes. It would seem to be perfect to have Burgess Meredith in the Night Gallery universe, and for a lot of people it gave legitimacy to what Laird and Sterling had joined together to do, because even if he didn't appear in this episode, he was going to appear in an episode later on, which he did, of course, with the third season. But Burgess Meredith, the compassionate drunk with a heart of gold, wouldn't be hard of a stretch. And this was a few years before he played, the trainer with a heart of gold with a bad side in Rocky, which is probably his most important performance besides the Twilight Zone episodes of his career. But Chill Wills, I never liked him as an actor for obvious reasons because I can't relate to that type of one note, but here it works. And a lot of people basically tutted the episode saying like this couldn't happen. Well, time travel has happened. It would be normal for a black bag from the future to be accidentally sent to the wrong area. For example, if the one bag needed to replace, instead of sending to 2078 or 71, it's sent to 1971. It seems pretty well that not everything that we know about time travel is perfect. Would an item need to be sent to a person of the near future or past being sent the wrong date? Of course it could, because Canada Post and U.S. Post has lost stuff in the past. So for me, I give this 3.5 stars out of 4. It's not a perfect episode because there's a little bit of plot holes, but like any good shortened episode of the Twilight Zone, there's going to be issues because nothing's perfect unless it's a movie. You can't cover all the bases. Like, they didn't even say what type of specialist that Meredith was. It seemed to be he was a family doctor, but he would have been like a typical physician where he could do surgery. I'd like to have a little bit more background. And why they joined together in the first place. I don't think Chill Wills' personality and Burgess Meredith's personality were really a mesh, as we say, but it works for the short time of the episode is presented. So that's our latest podcast, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what we're doing here with our Night Gallery tributes, let us know with a like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check the archive we have here of all the Night Gallery episodes. There's quite a few. So take a turn in the Twilight Zone and watch the episodes and come back for our reviews and go back and forth if need be, because some people come here thinking this is the episode itself to review, which I don't really understand, because everyone should know that Night Gallery is not available as rips on the internet, or other than Vimeo, a couple of ones. But anyway, when you drop in, you'll want to get my opinion on it. And if you're a newbie to the show, I hope you check out all the episodes of Night Gallery, including the bummers of season 3, because it's well worth it, because you'll never see Night Gallery and Rod Serling's type of style ever again, in my personal opinion. Thanks for listening. Bye.